Hello my friends, in this video I would like to talk a little bit about resume. Of course, it's a massive topic. It's not possible to cover everything within like 5 or even 10 or 15 minutes. I will just give you basic recommendations based on what we see every single day. And trust me, I see more resumes than even I want to. Even if we're not hiring anybody, somehow people believe that sending me hurdles of their resume somehow would help them to immigrate to Canada. I don't know why. I'm not commenting on this one. I honestly try to respond to everybody with a case assessment, but sometimes people just drop us a resume, and based on our findings, I just decided to share with you information what should not be in resume and how typically Canadian employers look at them. So if you are coming here and you're looking to get employed, the very first thing which you would probably do, you would start sending your resume. But before doing so, just invest a little bit of time, maybe a lot of time, towards developing your resume and polishing it up. So in order to do that, of course, you would have to understand or at least get a basic idea how Canadian companies, Canadian employers are looking at resumes. Usually if we're talking about large companies or even medium-sized companies or recruitment agencies, 90% of them would have so-called screening robot. It could have different names. It could be a pre-screening machine, it could be HR, whatever. At the end of the day, the purpose of this stuff is to pre-screen candidates, okay? So it automatically screens your resume against the requirements. It has an algorithm which includes the keywords, which includes the recent work experience, but at the end of the day, this robot somehow processes your resume. And the requirement which stems out of it is quite simple. Do not overcomplicate your resume, and do not include tables. Do not include complex fonts, which may not necessarily be found on any single computer. Keep in mind that not everybody is using PC. Sometimes people are using Mac. So I would strongly recommend to stick either to Times New Roman or to Arial font. The one which could be found on pretty much every single computer, tablet, or whatever electronic device. Okay, make sure that formatting is not complex as well, okay, because after the robot processes your resume, it may actually restructure or upload it into HR system of a company, and chances are information might be missing or lost on the road if your formatting was too complex. Now that is preliminary requirement. Now here we go towards what should be included in the resume. Now, of course, it should be a relevant information. Anything relevant to your job, to the position you're looking at. If you got education in IT, if you got recent work experience in IT, and you're looking for a position of a truck driver, well, question is, what the heck does it have to do with it? Relevant, relevant, and relevant. If necessary, if you're targeting, say, 5 positions, have 5 different resumes, okay? But do not send the same resume to pretty much everybody, okay? It's annoying. It ends up in a garbage bin almost immediately. You're targeting software developer position. Nobody's interested in your driving experience. Nobody wants to hear about your freaking hobbies. Trust me, nobody cares about your work experience in McDonald's 15 years ago. It's absolutely irrelevant, okay? So just dispose it. Your resume, unless you're applying for a position, I don't know, of a bank manager or CEO of a financial organization, it could not be longer than 3 pages. Typically, I would say that you would have to stick to 1, maximum 2 pages, okay? Do not write down a name of your grandma or whatever to make your resume look better. If you got additional trade certificates, but again, they're irrelevant, get rid of it. This information is not of an interest to the employer, and trust me, employer reading this stuff would be more confused. So what exactly is a matter of interest for you? Now, speaking of an interest, I would recommend, of course, mentioning it in the opening statement. So what position you're looking for, what exactly are you targeting? It could be just 2 words, for example, petroleum engineer. It could be more something, say, I am looking for a position, or this is towards seeking a position of, I don't know, marketing specialist. That is fine. So at least the person reading it would be able to understand how your resume is relevant towards the advertised position. Now, what should not be included in the resume, of course, is anything irrelevant to your work. Your gender, nobody cares. Your picture. Canadian employers are not allowed, even allowed, to process your resume if there is a picture. It's illegal. Okay, they cannot make a decision based on the way you're looking, unless, of course, you're applying for, I don't know, a model, right? If you're applying for an office clerk position, nobody would be allowed to look at your picture, okay? Because it may create a necessary bias. So delete it. Your faith, your religion, your marital status, absolutely irrelevant. Your driver experience or driver's license, well, the fact that you got a driver's license is more or less obvious because everybody in Canada usually will have a driver's license. If you got a driver's license from back home, do not put it in your resume because it's irrelevant and there is no direct connection between your driver's experience, say, in Iran and in Canada. So just again, erase this information as irrelevant as well. Do not, for God's sake, put the title resume in there. It's quite obvious that it's resume, okay? So just dispose it as well. At the end of the day, we could continue going on and on and on and on about this, right? During our immigration success course, we're actually giving you samples, free samples of resumes structured the way they're usually accepted by those automatic processing scripts or robots. We are giving the samples of typical resumes which are working for you. I would strongly recommend landing in Canada and finding yourself, of course, free advisor who would typically be working with this or that employment center who would help you to polish your resume. I got examples of friends of ours who were looking for a job for months. They were desperate, right? And at the same time, I mean, statistical data was against them. It was quite obvious that the position they were looking for, unemployment rate is exceptionally low. At the same time, it took them several months to, and there was no response, like literally nothing. 2 weeks of work towards their resume, understand how exactly it should be done, and within several days they got the first results. I mean, it's not magic, of course. Again, it's work, 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 and work. If you're looking to do it perfectly, land in Canada, find yourself a specialist. Free specialist is important. Nobody would be able to charge you for that. Free specialist who would be able to help you on site and nail that job. But do yourself a favor before this. I mean, quite obvious stuff, remove it. And if you got comments, if you want to discuss something, well, mostly welcome to leave your comment at the bottom of the video. And I sincerely invite you to join us on the course where we are actually touching the base in that area as well. Well, stay tuned with us and, of course, subscribe to the channel.